All right, I need to complain about something, and I couldn't decide which one of my friends was going to get a voice note about it. So I was like, I'll just go to the internet and complain to everyone on my platform. Because I also feel like it has a really good message within it, and that's just because it's been a theme this Scorpio season for me personally, and I'm seeing how it's mirroring in my physical reality. So, story time. I'm walking the dogs how I always do. We do off-leash training every day. You know, if you don't use it, you lose it. So we keep up with that. We're in an area where we can have the dogs off-leash, and I'm walking them, and people always come up and want to say hey, or they compliment them, all of the above. I have two beautiful, well-behaved puppies, and I love that testament and that interaction. It doesn't bother me at all. However, something that is consistent, it does bother me. It bothers me a lot, but the peak of how much it bothered me kind of hit me into a state of awareness today. This older man drives by and he stops, and he was a nice man. Like, I'm not upset at the man necessarily, and I'm not at the same time. I'm mad at what he represents, I suppose. He looked like a gruffy Santa Claus figure. So I'm curious of what his like physical features represent in the character, the archetype that he represents. But he's like, how old are your dogs? And I was like, Suna, blonde one, she's 8. And then this guy over here, this is Velas, he is 3. And he goes, and he just kind of looks and he goes, points at Suna, that's a beautiful dog. And I was like, thank you. And then he points at Velas, he goes, that one needs to bulk up. And I was like really stunned by it. And then, but I instantly was just like, he's a rescue. He was severely malnourished when we got him. He is as thick as we can get him. He just kind of like brushed it off and was like good dogs or whatever. And like just kind of drove off. And I was just like usually I'm like, oh, did you hear that, puppies? You go puppies, you're beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But I was just like, how dare he? Like, how dare he? To me, it was this theme of unnecessary competition and comparison without any understanding or knowledge of the situation. And I think like this kind of goes into like the body positivity movement or whatever. I think the collective is coming into these understandings, but also it's a mixture of things. It's making sure that you're not a victim. Like, you don't want to victimize yourself and have a victim complex, but it's also kind of like telling people like, you don't fucking know all the details, all the stories. So like, don't be so quick for your judgments. And then for me, it's like not being so quick to being reactive or defensive. Because a lot of my anger, which has been another theme of Scorpio season, is just how defensively reactive it is. It's coming from a place of self-defense, self-preservation, and I see how quickly that defense pops up, especially when it comes to my babies. If it comes to anything or anyone that I love, I will defend it to the bitter end. I will take it to hell. I've been really working on not immediately taking it to hell, understanding when it deserves to go to hell, when it just deserves to have which was what happened today. Just like, well, no, he's a rescue, and trust me, I'm taking care of my dog. Thank you very much. Like, I didn't appreciate the comment. Also, I didn't appreciate complimenting one of my puppies, not complimenting the other one. Because here's the thing. Beautiful girl. She's beautiful. She's thick. She is a solid fucking German Shepherd. That's because she came from a really awesome ethical breeder that my husband got at 8 weeks, and he has spoiled her with the best since she was in his care. She's always had the best of the best. That girl won the lottery from birth. And I think that kind of goes into like the cards you are dealt in life. All right. So Suna, she's reached her potential, if not surpassed it, because of her upbringing. Velas, he had a really rough, traumatic, abusive first 6 months of his life. I don't know everything he went through, but based off of his temperament, based off of all the healing practices and things that we've had to go through, that boy has been through some shit. You physiologically see it on him. You see how malnourished he has been at really vital developmental milestones and moments in his life. He was stunted as a puppy, as a child. He wasn't able to reach his full potential. And that's not his fault. It is unfortunate. It is a cruel reality and truth of our world. And as soon as we rescued him, as soon as we adopted him, we've worked really hard to heal him, to give him the best nutrition he can. He's food adverse. He is traumatized and terrified of food. He's not food motivated. He's not even in this state of bliss and gratitude, like, oh, I fucking have food. He's like, there's a catch. You're being too good to me. There's a catch. He's definitely a skeptical PTSD puppy. I relate to Velas a lot. Sometimes I understand how I project my own experience on him, but it's also I relate to his experience in a way. He is a soul puppy of mine for a reason. How our stories intermingle. Watching him realize that he's safe and watching him realize that he won the lottery has been really healing for me. My understanding that I am safe and that I have won the lottery in my own way with my husband, with the home that we've created, and all of the above. I'm in a safe environment now. Velas is in a safe environment now. So there's just like a disconnection in perception and understanding. So judgments of like, he needs to bulk up, he didn't reach his potential, because he was intentionally stunted as a puppy. He did not receive the proper care that he needed at vital moments in his life. And he is the best he can be with where he's at. He's gorgeous. He's handsome. He's just not as, he's pretty tall, but he probably would have been bigger. He would have been taller. He would have been thicker. He would have been stronger. He has issues with his hips that I am severely worried about when he gets older. There's all of these things that we have to just accept because of what he's been through. Anyway, I just think that people need to be more gracious and empathetic to the situations and circumstances that people are born into against their will, essentially, in a nutshell. I know there's a lot of spiritual theory that you sign up for this, you created this with the universe, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Regardless of all of that spiritual theory, at the end of the day, you don't know what someone has been through, so maybe don't be so quick to judge and wonder why they aren't farther along or better looking or better this or better that. And understand that, like, if you knew exactly what Velas has gone through, if you understand in comparison to he's come so fucking far. If people knew what it was like from the day we adopted him to now, so 6 months when we adopted him to him being 3 years old now, if you were here for every minute of that transformation, you would be in awe. The people at the dog park, people who have witnessed it, they're just in awe of the beauty. And like then there's that pride that like Chad and I have for healing him and doing that for him, doing it for ourselves, and all of the above. Anyway, I guess I just wanted to complain because like I just really didn't like that he complimented my beautiful girl who deserves her roses. She deserves her compliments. But so does my baby boy. Everything that he's overcome and everything that he survived. And I think I need to extend that gratitude to myself, and I want the message to be received to everyone who needs to give themselves their flowers for what they have overcome and how far they have made it with the cards that they have been dealt. So that's the message. Blessed full moon in Taurus.